Okay, I think we are live now. So, good afternoon, everyone. We welcome you all to this workshop on Blockchain 101, this workshop on Tezos. So, this workshop is a part of She Hacks DTU, which is a 3-day all-women hackathon organized by Climb DTU. The workshop will be taken by Divyo Majumdar, who has been a blockchain enthusiast from his early college days and has contributed to Ethereum research for a while. Shifting his interest to Tezos made him explore the Tezos ecosystem and its unique features. Presently, he's working as a senior software developer at Tezos. So, welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us in today's session.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ridhima, for this warm welcome. So, yeah, we are good to start. So, hi
Yes, sir.
everyone. Yeah, yeah. So, hi everyone. So, we'll today be discussing about blockchain, what it is from the basics kind of thing, and we'll move towards like how you can approach to create a app and create something in the for the decentralized web, right? So, uh, after a while, like I'll be sharing my screen with some slides on it. I'll be explaining through the flow what I'm going to do. After that, I'll be showing you how to get onboarded with smart contracts and how to build on Tezos. So you will be having actually kind of idea like what blockchain is, then what are the key terms you should be knowing, and then we'll be proceeding towards the smart contract development, how you can start off. Don't worry if you don't know anything about blockchain, you'll be getting it through. But keep following the whole uh, video and whole live session, I would say. And in the last, I'll be sharing some hack ideas that you can use to build on it. You can, if you don't have any ideas to start off with, you can check those ideas, improve on those ideas, and then start building on it. So yeah, I'll be explaining the flow once again once I share my slides. So yeah, I hope my slides are visible right now. Can anyone just confirm if it's visible? Okay, I see it's visible. Okay then. So let's start with the blocking with Tezos. So just a brief about me. I have been into the blockchain ecosystem from 2017, right from the ICO era, and I have been contributed to Ethereum research and Tezos infrastructure, as well as DApp development. DApp is simply, you can say, as the decentralized application that they build. Apart from that, I'm actually fond of communities. I have my own community that's name is BJ Dynamics. I have been contributing to Tezos India Foundation for around 1 year now, and I have been maintaining EDG Bangalore. For any queries, you can directly reach me out to my Twitter handle, and I'm very much active there. So hi, this is again Divyo, and we'll be learning about blockchain today. So let's discuss the flow and the topics we'll be covering to get you on board. So what all we have right now is we'll start off something with something called DLT. So this is kind of thing that no one covers when starting off with blockchain, but this is the root basics that you need to know to start off with blockchain. Then I'll tell you how to explain blockchain. That's the thing that no one actually does that perfectly. I'll tell you some points which will help you to explain blockchain in your terms. After that, I'll spend a lot of time with the common terms you need to know. Why specifically I'm telling common terms you need to know is uh, some of the terms, right, in blockchain ecosystem are very much critical and you'll not get over it. Blockchain is about small things, but a lot of things, not just a single rocket science, right? So you'll be coming across a lot of new terms like consensus, proof of stake, proof of work, and these type of difficult words. But these are simple things, and you should know about it when you're starting with blockchain. Else, you'll be stucking around every time and just pushing yourself to know about these again and again, and you will be stumbling all the way. Once you know these terms, it will be a smooth road for you to walk through any article or understand when someone is speaking. Then I'll be briefing you when to use blockchain. So blockchain is not the answer for everything. So I'll be telling you when to use blockchain and at what level it can give you advantage. Thus, after that, once we clear out the basics, we'll be going with what is Tezos, what are the unique things about it. There are multiple blockchain platforms. So we'll be going the unique capabilities of Tezos, what makes it different. Then the main part, the smart contract development, that we'll be building on this hackathon, right? So what are smart contracts? I'll cover a brief. Then how to start development in Tezos means how you can develop smart contracts. What are the tools you need to require? I'll walk you through all the tools that you need right away to start building. After that, we'll be exploring some of the use case. Then the main part where I will be sharing the hack ideas, which you can go through to explore new ideas or building on the same. So yeah, let's start. So keep this session very interactive and you can ask away all your doubts. And I'm tracking all the questions in the YouTube. So just ask away any questions you want anytime. I'll be stopping and answering your questions in the meanwhile. I'll be giving you time to ask questions also. So yeah, let's start. So let's start with what is DLT. So DLT means for distributed ledger technology. So what exactly it is? You must have heard about ledger, right? So what is a ledger? Ledger is somewhere everyone used to keep the record of their transactions. So may it be a balance sheet, right? So ledger is something like your balance sheet and where all the transactions are written, apart from only the spending and only the earnings and all, right? So you track all your transactions in a paper mode. So that's something you can call as a ledger. So why I'm calling it a distributed ledger? Why we are thinking about a distributed ledger? So we'll be coming across this, right? So I'll be telling you what this distributed mean in distributed ledger technology. But to brief out what is a distributed ledger technology, it is something where you make the digital copy of this ledger that I have told, like keeping it's a store of transactions, and you distribute it to a lot of people, right? And make the use of the consensus of those people to verify something if it's right or wrong, right? So this is the basic of the means distributed ledger technology. Means you will be building on something that is based on a ledger which is distributed. It's distributed, it's decentralized. So these things are different things that you need to know about. So I'll be explaining it later, right? So how technology comes in when you think about uh, distributed ledger technology, right? So how the technology comes in. Distributed ledgers actually uses where means independent computers that are called nodes, just like distributed computing, right? There are nodes that are computers that used to store anything or share the computer power and all, right? So these are the independent computers to record, share, and synchronize transactions in their respective electronic ledger, I would say, right? So that's a specific thing. So, what happens when you think of a distributed ledger? Suppose you have a list of transactions and you have stored it in your ledger, and you have a group of, let's say, 20 people. And what you do is you don't only list your transactions, you also list all the 20 people's transactions in your ledger, and all the 19 people except you will also be storing the same copy of that ledger, which summarizes all the transactions and everything you have recorded. So why this is done means must have thinking like the other guy would be knowing about my transaction. This is not good. So this is how the concept looks like in Bitcoin, in Ethereum. Any transaction you do, right? All the transactions are visible to everyone. This is the core concept of blockchain. So you keep things public. You keep you make things secure by keeping things public, right? So what happens here is everyone having the same copy of this distributed ledger. Suppose some fraudulent guy comes in, like say he was saying user one has storing the distributed ledger. User one is sending. He used to add a fake record saying user one has sent me $200. Okay, and what happens? He had recorded it, and then he had kept it in his ledger. So what happens now? I have mentioned a part like synchronized transactions in their respective electronic ledger, right? So synchronization here is the key. After a while, what happens is whenever we'll come along in a room and we'll synchronize each other's data, we'll be finding like uh, this guy is having a fraudulent transaction that no other one have. So that's the point when we used to recognize like this guy is a fraudulent guy and his electronic ledger should be replaced by the majority of the electronic ledgers what they are storing. So what happens is his ledger is torn apart and the copy of the ledger having the most of the guy's transactions means what everyone has in common is provided to that ledger. In this way, the integrity of the ledger maintained. And if someone tries to add any fraudulent transactions, it is avoided. This process of coming into a conclusion is called consensus. There are algorithms used to bring all those electronic ledger into a same state. Those are called consensus algorithms. That's I can give you some example beforehand, such as proof of work, proof of stake. These are the kind of two famous types of consensus algorithm, which helps all the electronic ledgers to come into a single state apart and rule out all the negative states, like any fraudulent states or any fraudulent ledger that comes into the network. So I feel you have got a fair idea like how the DLT things works, right? So then there comes a technology facilitating and taking the distributed ledger technology to a new level. It made things more secure, right, and avoid something called as double spend, right? So why? when we make things in terms of a technology, in terms of electronic things, right? What happens when we say we have a double spending? We have a transaction that's written, right? So if you maintain a normal ledger, a paper ledger, what happens is if that some guy means I have sent him $30 and that guy has signed it, who has sent it, right? So he has signed. I have sent $30 to that guy, and this transaction is signed by someone. So that signature should be verifying that this transaction is authentic transaction, right? And this need to be this is the only thing that is needed to be verified when everyone comes into a room and decide which is false and which is good, right? So when we come to the digital space, what happens here is you can just copy that whole transaction and paste it again, right? And that will be similar to the previous one and would be verifiable. That means whenever someone copies a transaction, it can refer like you have sent him two times. $20 means $20 two times. So this thing is one of the core problems that that has given rise to the blockchain ecosystem, specifically the cryptocurrency ecosystem where Bitcoin lies. So Bitcoin actually the Bitcoin protocol has solved the problem of double spending into the crypto ecosystem. Crypto was there are digital currencies where they're long back, but that has to be maintained by any third party. But with the evolution of Bitcoin, they have created a model which is secure, avoids double spending without any authority, with the consensus of the people. So that's where blockchain lies. So before going deep dive to how blockchain looks like, and how it works, let's think about the common terms, right? That you need to know. So I feel like you must have heard about most of the topics here. Like the consensus means I have told about consensus. So pure proof of work and proof of stake are kind of the examples of the consensus algorithms, which helps to uh, bring people into consensus, right? And after that, we have signatures. So we have digital signatures on board. So digital signatures is a part of the cryptography which helps you to sign your transactions in a digital manner. Yeah. After that, you have the public key and private key concepts, which are the cryptographic keys that are used for encryption, right? Encryption and decryption. So blockchain generally use asymmetric key cryptography, and that's where public key and private key comes in. Public key, as the name suggests, is public to everyone, and it is used for verifying. I am telling verifying the transactions, and the private key is something that is used to sign the transaction. Apart from that, hashing is actually getting same set of same number of set of bytes from a huge or any number of set of bytes. So it's actually a compression techniques which brings down to a single set of bytes. So what happens is whenever you want to verify if this thing is the corresponding hash or something, what you can do is you can just use the hashing algorithm and compare the two hashes. And hashes are something that actually changes a lot, even if in the main core material a single letter is changed. There are multiple hashing algorithms. So these are some of the common terms. So I'll move on to now blockchain. So it's a decentralized distributed ledger which stores a set of transactions in block and chain it in a way that makes the data in the blocks immutable. So, to specify what is a blockchain, this is what you can say. It's a decentralized distributed ledger which stores a set of transactions on in the blocks. So, we, uh, I have told you about a ledger, right? So, we have to create something that actually can help us to imitate that ledger. We just can't uh, have a single data structure that can hold all the transactions right from the inception of a single property, right? So we have to choose a data structure which is immutable plus helps you to sequentialize your data. So you can think of blockchain as a data structure, right? Equivalent to linked list, if you guys know it. So it is something like a data structure and a linked list means a linked list data structure, which is the pointers are there, and which is more specifically you can think of it as a doubly linked list, right? You can traverse back and forth, and you have the ability to keep the things immutable, right? And you sequentialize the data in that way. So this is what blockchain is. Let's see what does a block contains. A block contains, obviously there is a block number, so that is used to track what the sequence of the blocks, the size of the block. Then there are two parts. First is the block's content. I would say three parts. That's actually the transaction counter is actually a part of the header. Uh, so leave it. So kind of we can think of it as a two-part system where I have told right the transactions are listed. So transactions are listed in the block content, and I have told you about the linking part of the block linked list, right? So how we do it is we used to take the hash of the whole previous block, and store it in the header of the new block. So what happens is once a block is mined, the block's header is fixed to the last block hash, which make things immutable and make sure that this is the next block after the previous one. Once if someone tries to come in and manipulate the any of the block details or any of the block transactions in the previous block, this previous block hash will be changing, right? I have told you any small change can create a drastic change in the hash. So any small change in the last block, it will convey that whenever the block verification is doing, so miners does that actually. So whenever it's done, what happens is uh, it's checked like the block's hash is matching to the next block's header's previous hash, right? So then it will be not be matching, and it will be searched like which is the valid block, and it will be getting replaced by the original block. Anyone try to manipulate these will be overcome. So this is what we have the block header and the block content. Block content as if the transactions. And as I have told, the chaining in the blockchain, right, happens through the hash-based uh, um, hash-based storing of the previous block, right? You take the hash of the previous block and save it to the header of the blockchain. That's why it's called blockchain, right? We are doing a chain, and chaining is in this way, like storing the hash in the next hash in the next block's header, right? Now the question comes in when to use blockchain. So after this, the main part when it will be like how we'll be using the smart contracts, and how the smart contracts will be actually changing things, right? and how you can start developing on it. Now the blockchain decision tree comes in, right? Whenever a lot of the technical problems, right? Let it be financial, let it be anything. So you have to trust a third party, but you don't want to trust a third party, right? And you want to get the consensus of people. So you have to go to a decision tree and comes to a conclusion if blockchain is needed or it's not. Because you can think of financial applications like Paytm. They are also maintaining a ledger, right? Of every transactions it's done. So these are the parameters you have to think of, like, do you need a database? If yes, then only go for it. If you need a database, do you need the database to be handled by multiple party and you want to make it trustless? Then you need it. Do you want to get it verified by multiple parties? Yes. If yes, then you have to go for it. When you do any transaction in Paytm, that's not verified by any of the other parties, but only by Paytm, which makes it centralized. And you have to be depend. If you think of like any transaction fraudulation, you have to complain to Paytm to check back, right? And if they don't want your transaction to be reverted, you don't have anything to do. That's uh, where the decentralized uh, payment systems comes in and make a difference. So yeah, okay. So let's think of the types. So I'll be explaining about you the decision tree with the help of the types of blockchain we have in the market. So there are actually three types of blockchain. First is the public blockchain, next is the hybrid blockchain, and the next is the private blockchains. So uh, the blockchain decision tree comes in like this. Like if you need a database, then go forward. If you want to give a shared access, then go on. Are writers known, trusted? If the writers are trusted, right, then you have to go like, are the writers interested to get unified, right? Means everyone in the game, everyone in the decentralized world, means in the network, should be interested to get unified, because there you may have heard about something called 51% attack when it comes to a consensus. Like 51% people, if they want to uh, negate things, they can do it, right? So if they are not unified, there is no point. And for getting things unified, there is a huge reward system that was played around. And that reward system actually make things something familiar and helps the whole network to play by rules and make the writers unified, right? If they are they are actually I would say, like, if more than 51%, right, say yes of always, and you're blindly trusted like they will be interested in getting unified, then go for blocking. Means don't use blocking, right? You don't need a blocking then. Just go for a centralized system. If they are not interested in getting unified, right? More than 20 to 30% are like are susceptible to any uh, changes, and they can get wrong, or they can go to a different watch. Then you should consider blocking, because the consensus mechanism used are very much trustworthy, and you believe in technology to get hold on it. So you don't after that you don't need to control the functionality, right? You don't want to check like if this guy is trustable, this guy is trustable. You want to trust on your code, and you have to structure in a way in an store like it works the way it intends to. Then, if you don't want to control the functionality, then I would say, then go for public blockchains. And one of the main things in public blockchain is your all the transactions are public. Everyone can see the transactions, as I have mentioned in the previous sections in the DLT. Apart from that, we have hybrid blockchains. I should explain the private blockchain first. So, private blockchains are some blockchains that are used by enterprises, right? So they control everything. They control the access and all. It's not public. No, you can't just get into their network. But they want to leverage the consensus and they want to leverage the technology. Then they use the private blockchains. Walmart, JP Morgan Chase, every single big financial companies or any uh, supply chain based companies use private blockchains nowadays. Apart from that, if you want a mixed part of it, like you want to create a portion of the network private and you want to create a portion of the network as public, then you have to go for a hybrid blockchain. So this is what happens, right, when you think of a blockchain division tree. Now let's come to Tezos. What is Tezos and what's different? So it's known as a self-amending cryptographic ledger with smart contract runtime abilities. Earlier, all the cryptographic ledgers don't have the smart contract abilities like Bitcoin, right? You don't have smart contract abilities. You don't need that. It's only used as a payment system. So after that, Ethereum comes in. Ethereum comes in with smart contract runtime abilities, which actually uses the immutability feature and make your smart contracts run in the local network. Means your logic runs in the local network and that too for free, and the user who is using it, they are only paying and using it. And the immutability of the blockchain ecosystem makes the code immutable and helps you to keep the code public but safe. But for this, they have an integrated an Ethereum virtual machine. That's where the started of the runtime abilities in the blockchain ecosystem. Now, Tezos came into play with a new thing called self-amendment. So you must, okay, I'll explain it a bit later. So for Tezos, it's a self-amending cryptographic ledger with smart contract runtime abilities. So you can write smart contracts and all. So let's explore through the different things that make things uh, different for Tezos and why Tezos wins again. So it's self-amending and fast upgrading nature. Since 2019, I have been hearing about Ethereum's upgrade. So it's not happened till to Ethereum 2.0, where they're just shifting their consensus algorithm from proof of work to proof of stake. So the difference here is the self-amending part, means the protocol, the whole Tezos protocol is made in a way it can amend itself. It can upgrade itself with the consensus of the people who are contributing to it. It's fast upgrading in nature, right? Fast upgrading in the sense uh, you can see an upgrade in every 3 to 4 months, and that upgrade is so smooth, like you can't imagine of any of the other crypto-based blockchain which has this much fast upgrading nature and works this flawlessly. High TPS. This Tezos runs on liquid proof of stake algorithm for the consensus. Consensus is something that makes the transactions per second handling ability of the whole crypto market, right? Means for a blockchain, if you think of what's the TPS, you have to think of what is the consensus algorithm they're using to verify, right? So if it's verified fast, the transactions are getting committed fast. So Tezos uses liquid proof of stake as a consensus algorithm, which is a lot better and gives high TPS. In Ethereum, you may have 5 to 6 minutes to get your transactions mined, and that too after paying a lot of gas fees. But in Tezos, it's different here. You can get your transactions confirmed in just no time. Next good thing is on-chain governance. When we do the self-amending part, what happens there is you don't have any different mechanism where people sit in a room and decide what to be done and what not to be done. They have an on-chain governance where some on the chain itself, on the blockchain itself, there are codes that actually governs the update features. Means how much quorum should be reached to get the update, if it's feasible or not. Everyone votes to that proposals. Everyone's uh, means have the right to propose a new protocol upgrade. So this is something you can say like a people's blockchain, right? Where people only uh, is responsible for any upgrade or something, right? So that's where the difference comes in. It's not like Ethereum as a space they used to sit and they used to define the upgrade. It's the developer community and the network participants that actually bets on the upgrade here. Some of the famous protocols we have is the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tezos, and Hyperledger. Hyperledger being one of the best private blockchains. Let's come to what smart contracts are. So, smart contracts are the lines of code that are stored in the blockchain and have the ability to get automatically executed when predetermined terms and conditions are met. So, you can think of a program running into the blockchain EVM. So, EVM is something that actually runs a smart contract using gas. So, yeah. So this is kind of an execution runtime on top of blockchain that is crafted. So how to start development? So whenever you think of any blockchain project, first analyze the problem statement. So this is where we start off discussing the hackathon, right? What you can build and what you can actually. Uh, just a second. Okay. Uh, this is where I'll be starting off with the hackathon stuff. I'll be sharing ideas, how to start development. I'll be showing you a walkthrough on how to interact with and how to use tools, right? So I'll be stopping here for a while and I'll be taking questions if any. So yeah. Okay, I have seen a question saying like, when do we have a new coin built in XTZ document? So, just for clearing the stuff, it's not the a coin is not built on XTZ. XTZ is the coin for Tezos, right? So, a coin is not built. A token is being built. So, it can be an ERC 720, sorry, FA 1.2 or FA 2 tokens. So, you can create fungible or non fungible tokens in the crypto ecosystem and do a transaction, right? So, that's how they are used. So a lot of tokens are already there in the XTZ. Like we also are releasing some. Apart from that, we have stable coins. We have USD Tez. We have a lot of options there, so you can explore. Which platform is best for making the blockchain? Yeah. Which platform is best for? I didn't get this question. Like for making the blockchain dev, I'm not sure. Like if you wanted to mean that, or what exactly you mean. Are you asking for uh, the development in the protocol itself? So I would say, like, as of now, I have explored Ethereum, Corda, Hyperledger, and Tezos. I feel the development flow is more easy and smooth in Tezos. So that makes the difference actually. And whenever you deploy, if you want to deploy on mainnet, it will be a lot less costlier. So starting the journey will be very much smoother, and you have a great developer support, right? That will actually make a difference and to get you on board. So I'll say to get on to Tezos first. That is the best you can get right now. So yeah, I hope I have answered your question, Lakshita. Yeah. So any more questions, or I'll continue? So yeah. So Lakshita is saying, I'm totally new in blockchain. Is there any course Tezos offer or something? Yeah. So we'll be sharing a lot of Tezos-based links where you can go on and learn about Tezos. You can explore a lot of things, and there are a lot of courses. Even there are actually interactive courses also, interactive smart contract development platform in browser itself. So you can go from zero to an advanced level smart contract developer only through that game based application that you will be making in the website itself. Uh, to be specific, it's a crypto code school. I'll also share the link with you guys, and which can help you to learn about it. And if you are a beginner, don't panic, right? Things will be there that you don't understand. You have to get into it, and I personally feel like starting off with Tezos blockchain is a lot easier. I'll show you how you can develop in Python itself. You don't have to learn any other language to build on it. Okay, so how to start? I'll just start off. So how to start with development? So analyze the problem statement as we do every time. After that, you have, I'll just mention, like, when you analyze the problem statement, right, you should be sure this is the solution should be solved using blockchain or not. It should not be like it's more feasible if you do it in a centralized manner and you are pushing it to the blockchain, right? Only just get the things that are actually mean for blocking. Next thing, select suitable blocking platform. Yes, I have given you the decision tree, right? How to decide on the blocking platform. So keep a track of it and get the suitable blocking platform to start off with. Learn their native programming language, right? This is kind of a bit tempting part. So you have to learn a native programming language, right? For coding in Ethereum, you have to know about uh, Solidity. So it's a kind of a new language. It's easy, but it's a new language you have to learn. So uh, means for coding in Hyperledger, you have to learn about chain codes. But in Tezos, right, you don't have to learn any native language, right? Means their native language. So all the languages we have, right, are kind of same that you already know, just like SmartPy. That we'll be discussing in some time. You can just explore SmartPy, and it's a simple Python program which can be converted into a smart contract and can be deployed into blockchain. As easy as that. I'll show you the flow and then implement and show it to the world. The things you make are public to everyone, public and don't have any boundaries. So you make a good use case and get something out of it. Okay, so let's start how to what are the actually tools or weapons you have to develop in Tezos. First up, you have SmartPy. That's that's somewhere you will be coding to create smart contracts. Next, you have TZ stats and better call def. I'll show you these stuffs. So TZ stats and better call def are something that will help you to track the transactions. Tezos is a public blockchain. So all the transactions are public. So you have to track those. You can track those with this indexers, these stats and better call def. Next, we in Tezos we have some suite that will help you to build on it. Just as bundle react, tester GUI, CLI. Bundle react help you to give a kickstart to a project. Right? Tester GUI can help you to create a local instance of blockchain into your PC right away with simple interaction. Tester CLI does it with the CLI. Taquito and conceal this, right? Whenever you develop on a smart contract, right? So you it's actually called Web 3.2, right? When where you don't have any backend is handled by the smart contracts, but you should be having a front end that will be interacting with directly with the blockchain, right? So that's where the keto and conceal this comes in. These are the libraries, JavaScript libraries, that will help you to interact directly with the blockchain. So these are the key libraries that you have to uh, know to create a dApp. So root basics that you need to start off with a new project. You should have the knowledge of SmartPy. You should have the knowledge of JavaScript. That's it. You can create a basic web page. You can create a basic app. So okay. So I'll be just giving you the brief, like how the smart buy looks like and how we can code on it. So let's go. Whenever you visit to smartpy.io, right, you'll be getting a nice console where you have the online editor. Plus, you have a lot of examples to walk through. A lot of examples that will help you to know more about how smart contracts are written, what are the best smart contracts, how to, if you have any problems, you can just directly go to articles and guide and get some input from there. I genuinely say like this are well crafted enough and resolves all your doubts, right? Once you go to the online editor, right, an editor like this opens. So this is where you code your smart contracts, right? So if you do show me, you can have a lot of templates where you can have token contracts and examples, protocols like atomic swap and escrow multisig. These are kind of concepts you'll be going through when you'll be building small games. Yeah, small games are also built. You have some reference templates which can help you with the syntax. Templates for using the types. So we have a different types here, a apart from the conventional types we used to have in Python, we have different types. So that we have to keep through. So what's the flow? How to start our development? I would like to say go to crypto code school and learn about SmartPy and how to code in SmartPy. After that, come into smartpy.io/id, then check out these reference templates first. Once you go through all the reference templates, it will take hardly a day, but give it a time, right? It will take hardly a day, and you can go through all the reference templates, try to make changes. After that, go to token contracts and learn about them. What it does, what are the specific features that should be considered while uh, we do changes, means we implement these. What are the use case of these things? You can know about all different kind of projects that are using all those FA 1.2, FA 2 tokens, and you have to use these things in your personal project also. So go through the regular templates, all the regular templates and reference templates first before starting anything, because it will give you a hand over how smart contrast looks like. Okay, let's select a token. I can import contract directly from here, close it, and here it is. So how we do development in smart contract is we used to write here, and we used to write the tests also below the contract itself. I have told you that all the contracts are kind of immutable. Once you deploy these contracts, they cannot be changed, right? So this is done in a manner that it's fully robust and it's not vulnerable to any change, right? So you have to do development in a test-driven manner, just like rocket engineers do. First, write tests, then write a contract. You should be sure about what your code is not breaking and what are the expected results you should be getting. You have to check all the corner cases in the same file, and then you can just start off writing a smart contract. So it's simple Python. You just have to import it as smart file as screen. This is due to the different types that we are using. Right? So after that, you have multiple functions that will be stored in the blockchain, right? But this code doesn't lies in the blockchain. The Michelson version of it lies into the blockchain. So you can run those codes, and it will give a Michelson version of it. So yeah, see, this is the all the tests you can see right away. This is one of the most advanced editors, online editors you will see in the blockchain ecosystem, right? And this is the code that lies in the blockchain. You can see, just a second. Okay. See, this is the code that lies in the blockchain. So your code is getting converted into these opposed based assembly codes and Nicholson code actually I would say, and it gets deployed directly into the blockchain. You can do it through this console also. Deploy Nicholson contract and you have to follow certain steps. But everything costs in blockchain. You have to have a wallet extension to interact with the blockchain. So just a sec. Okay. Okay, so this is uh, kind of a wallet, right? So what's the use of it? So everything I have told, like everything costs in blockchain, so you have to keep your wallet ready. So it should not create, it should not have a real money, but it can have dummy money. So what you can do is you have to create a wallet. It's known as Temple Wallet. It comes as an extension and Chrome. You have to add it to do transactions and to interact with stuff. Once you go to the deploy and you can explore how it's done. So this is how a smart contract looks like, and this is, I would say, like one of the best platforms you can use to write your smart contracts. So let's go to some use case and hack ideas. So first thing, uh, I'll just tell you about the use cases that's actually where most of the blockchain applications are done right now. First is the supply chain and logistic management. This is something that started a long ago, and Walmart is the one who adopted it in the first in a large scale. So after that, the decentralized finance, the financial activities that the banks used to carry out, those can be replicated in the blockchain ecosystem. That's where everything comes in. The decentralized finance, like lending, borrowing, taking loans, uh, then getting a yield, creating liquidity pools. These are things that are coming into the blockchain ecosystem due to DeFi. That's where DeFi is conveyed. After that, we have the secure storage. So we can make things secure, right? So why don't we keep make storage secure? We can make the storage decentralized. It's not efficient because you'll be paying a hell lot in securing storage, right? If you store everything into the blockchain. But what you can do is you can create another decentralized storage network and then commit the hashes into the blockchain network that will make and verify things that are authentic or not. Then cross-border payments, just like Bitcoin does, and royalty tracking. Royalty tracking, that since the transactions are public, right? You can actually delegate any of your stuff to someone, and you can that if the other guy showed it to third party showed it to fourth party, you will be having the track of everything. So if you own something, if you're a creator of something, if you want to track like where it went, you can do it publicly and in a very easy manner. You don't have to ask any authority to get those. So this is how the royalty tracking are done. Next is the best part. So we'll be discussing ideas here. So let's start with the hack ideas that you can start building on. First, build a Twitter bot. That means we just thought of these are some of the ideas that we think will be good for you. You can always come up with your ideas and improvise on that. That is the best I will say. But if you don't have any, you can pick from one. First is Twitter bot, which shares every time means an arbitrage opportunity on Tezos Dexter. So now a lot of hard words comes in. So what is an arbitrage opportunity? So if you know how trading works, then you have to go through it. Like in in a place, suppose in a place you are getting something in $100, in another place, right? You can swap the same things with $120. Some miscommunication or something happened that lead to this place, right? What you can do is you can just buy it in $100 and swap it in another place in $120. People used to do it with a lot of money. They used to buy it in a bulk. When they see this opportunity, they used to buy it in a bulk and sell it, swap it in another place. with $120. That's where arbitrage opportunity means. So maybe a Twitter bot which can track all those arbitrages. Build a Flutter app which plays a Led Zeppelin song every time Tezos price surges to 5. So this is where you can actually will be you will be actually learning about oracles. You have to get the Tezos price feed. If you want to do it in a decentralized manner, you have to use oracles that are the real-time feeders that can be used to interact with the outside world from the blockchain, right? So that will help you to actually make something which can uh, actually show a better version, or it can give you a notification that Tezos price has surged. You know what? Like these, due to oracles only, the faultness of oracles only, these arbitrages happens. So maybe you can combine those ideas. Build a Flutter app using which you can pay the users. So yeah, so you can create a payment system, a wallet in phones, right? So people can pay those right away from their phones if you are into mobile development. Build an audio streaming platform for struggling artists which uses micropayments. I have told right micro royalty tracking. So what you can do is you can just create a creator's fee for every time this uh, uh, audio is bought or streamed, right? So what will happen in that case is uh, people who had made it will be actually making money, and things are getting pirated, right? So those things will not be actually actually used, right? So this can actually payment systems can actually improve you on the piracy. So after that, you can build a platform to mint tokens on demand based on the selected criteria. So I have shown you the contracts about fungible and non-fungible tokens, right? So you can create a platform to mint tokens and create a logic behind it, which will be helping you to transfer or to trade your tokens. Build a solution to send crypto transactions via Bluetooth. This is one of the innovative solutions, right? So you can build a solution whenever you want actually to do a transactions you have to be connected to the internet, right, to interact with blockchain. So you can make a system or we can make a solution that can do it with the help of Bluetooth, not connected to the internet. Anyhow, you have to do it, but you can create some methods that can actually imitate the same thing and do a committed transactions using ZK rollups. You'll be, I don't know if you know about ZK rollups, but it's actually transacting a lot of transactions in a nest. Building a micro lending platform. So micro loans is something like I am giving apart from going to a bank, peer loaning will be there. I can give you loan, you can give me loan. So these things will be governed by the blockchain ecosystem using the smart contracts will be governing it, not the banks. Build a real digital asset management. So real estate management. Sorry. So what you can do is you can digitize anything. You can make anything divisible. You can create a flat which can be divisible. If you can't own it as a whole, you can get a part of it. You just have to map the value to corresponding tokens out there. You can just make it fungible and then give the tokens corresponding to that value. Okay, so build a marketplace for NFTs or mint pool NFTs. So this is the era of NFTs you must be knowing, right? So now digital arts, memes are getting sold in blockchain worth $1 million. So you can create a marketplace for NFTs in Tezos. You can there is also already a platform that's growing on a Scala Mint or Cairo. So you can look into these things. And apart from that, you can one of the more ideas ICO portal. It's like doing crowdfunding for your blockchain projects in blockchain with an on-chain governance. So yeah, I feel we are done. So I'll be stopping again for all the questions if you have or else will comments. How can I connect my Flutter app to Tezos? If I build something on Smart Buy. Okay, so that's a nice thing. So in Azure we have built a Dart library, right? That will help you to connect your Flutter app and interact with blockchain directly, Tezos blockchain directly. You have to connect. You have first. You have to deploy your uh, smart contract, right? Using SmartPy. Once you get it deployed, then what you can do is use tester dart. This is the package name that we have built in Azure. You can just use that to integrate or to call contract functions or do smart contract verification right from your Flutter app. You can use that library. I hope Lakshita I answered your question. The name is tester dart. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Can you change UI in SmartPy? Like you want to change the UI of SmartPy's online editor, if I feel, then you can just switch from dark mode to uh, light mode or light mode to dark mode. That's it. And if you want to change the UI in terms of your tab, right? Then you can create a custom, right? Uh, if you're talking about the UI in your tab, you can make it custom and make it uh, means however you want. You can use React or you can use anything. Just that SmartPy UI is only for your smart contract deployment, development and deployment with test. Nothing else. Once that is deployed, the UI doesn't matter. So you can make your own. Hope this makes sense. And if you have any doubts, like you can connect me over Twitter and we can just have a chat. Or even I am also in your Discord channel. I feel you can just ask me questions over there. So yeah, if we have any more questions,
Hi guys, if you have any questions, please write them in the chat box. So someone has asked for your LinkedIn profile.
okay. Uh, you can just search my name on LinkedIn actually. So maybe I can share it also. Where should I share it, Ridhima? Oh,
So you can share it here in the chat. I can circulate it with everyone. You can share it in the private chat. I'll share it with everyone else.
okay. Just a second. Just a sec. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. I'd also like to welcome Sneha ma'am, who's the community manager of Tezos. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us, Ridhima.
Ma'am, it's a great pleasure for us.
Yep. Hi everyone. I'll just start briefly introducing about me. So, I'm a community manager of Tezos India. Tezos, I'll just briefly talk about what Tezos India community is. So, Tezos India is a non-profit organization where we, as a community, are dedicated for the growth of Tezos ecosystem across India. And how we do it is we do it through education, where we try to where we collaborate with universities to organize a workshop which starts from basics of blockchain, and then we slowly introduce them to the Tezos platform. And then we organize hackathons, and then we organize Tezos India Fellowship Program, which was one of the landmark event of Tezos India community. So this is what we do in the education part. So we also do partnership. Anyone who shares the same interest as us, where who are willing to dedicate for the growth of Tezos ecosystem across India, and we do collaborate with universities where we ended up having clubs across three universities currently, and we are also like looking forward to have more collaborations where we try to educate and again involve developers into the platform. And the third thing which we do is meetups, and in this meetups it's basically like before it's an offline event which we used to organize like before COVID, and where people from different industries come together, and then we try to educate them about what Tezos is and what opportunities they have to explore Tezos, or the benefit they get out of using the platform. So this is just a brief outline of Tezos India community, and if and it's an open platform. Anyone who is willing to contribute can join us and help us in spreading a word about Tezos across across different universities and colleges. So yeah, and I think the workshop which Dibyo have already explained to you provided you with all the insights that you need in order to get started with Tezos, and also we have shared the hack ideas, and there's also a resource link of a documentation for Tezos resource link which you can refer to in order to like if you need any kind of like help with regards to like how to get started with the Tezos platform. So you can also like reach out to us on our Tezos India Telegram channel. I think I'll quickly share the link. It's a Telegram platform where we have Tezos mentors who can assist you with any kind of technical help that you need. Feel free to join this channel and get started with your first project on Tezos. And also, we have a special hackathon bounty for the project that is built on Flutter, where we have like 25,000 INR for the project, which is built on Flutter. So, yep, I'm looking forward to the amazing projects from you guys, and all the very best. And thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, sir. It was a great session, and I hope everyone has learned a lot from this session. And we'll be sharing the links on the Discord server. So anyone who wants to check out these links, just go to our Discord server. So thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ridhima. Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you, Rima.